So, hello everyone. I hope you're doing great and the preparation is going great. Already in the group, we have done a bacterial disease of the oral cavity, and we've already covered up the topic in the Zoom class. I'll be covering this topic again for the people who are not able to attend the Zoom class, and here we go. So, we'll be starting today with the bacterial diseases of the oral cavity, and there are several diseases that we'll be discussing. Amongst them, the first of all comes to be the scarlet fever or scarlatina. As for scarlatina, and S is again for the strawberry tongue. So you have to remember it like this, that this scarlet fever is a characteristic feature. A strawberry tongue is a characteristic feature of scarlatina. Scarlatina is a disease that is basically caused by your streptococci, that is your streptococcus pyogenes, an important MCQ that can be asked, and it is characterized by the rash that is predominantly found in the area of the skin folds called as pasta lines. So pasta lines again is a characteristic feature of your scarlet fever. Strawberry tongue or raspberry tongue, you can very easily appreciate here in the picture that the tongue appears like a strawberry. And another important question that you are going to find out, and even in the synopsis of the oral pathology very clearly given, that the susceptibility of the test is by Dick test. So again, S for scarlet, S for scarlatina, S for strawberry, S for susceptibility. So susceptibility is by your Dick test. So you have to remember that susceptibility is not by S, susceptibility is by D. That susceptibility of this disease is by your Dick test. An important MCQ that can be asked from this topic. Fine. Now we move to the another disease, that is your diphtheria. Diphtheria, you should be knowing the causative organisms, that is your Corynebacterium diphtheriae, and this diphtheria is characterized by the formation of a pseudomembrane. Pseudomembrane you are going to find out in your candidiasis also, but the pseudomembrane that is formed in your syphilis also. The pseudomembrane that is formed here is the one that bleeds on the removal, called as diphtheretic membrane. So you have to remember that the pseudomembrane that is formed is going to bleed. This is sometimes like the pseudomembrane that is formed when we scrape, it is removable, sometimes it's not removable, sometimes it bleeds. So the one that bleeds is your diphtheretic. Airborne mode is the mode of transmission in diphtheria, and another very important MCQ is your bull neck. There is going to be the enlargement of the lymph nodes of the neck, and the neck will appear like a bull neck. So they can ask you a question that bull neck is a characteristic feature of diphtheria. Again, diagnosis is by Schick test, you have to remember. So scarlet fever is by Dick test and diphtheria is by Schick test. So the alphabets are opposite. MCQ can be asked and we get confused between Schick and Dick. So you should be knowing diphtheria is by Schick test and scarlatina is by Dick test. Another disease is leprosy, very commonly asked question, that what is the causative agent for diphtheria? It's Mycobacterium diphtheria, and this bacteria only infects the peripheral nerve, and it can be a multibacillary leprosy, like that. The question is simple, it's caused by which organism? Mycobacterium leprae. Another important, that is the fourth one, is your actinomycosis. Actinomycosis is caused by anaerobic gram-positive non-acid fast branched filamentous bacteria. So there is always a misconception that actinomycosis is caused by fungus. No, actinomycosis is caused by bacteria. A very important point, it is not caused by fungus, and it leads to the formation of the abscesses that tends to drain by the formation of the sinus tract. So what happens in actinomycosis is there is multiple abscesses are formed that are going to form sinus tract. So the important MCQ, that the characteristic feature of the actinomycosis is the formation of the abscesses, as well as it shows the sulfur granules or colonies of organism which appear in separative tiny yellow grains. So it is going to show sulfur granules. So sulfur granules again is a feature of actinomycosis. So actinomycosis can be classified anatomically as cervicofacial, abdominal or pulmonary. So three types of actinomycosis are there. Even they can ask you an MCQ like this, that what are the types of actinomycosis, and amongst the three you are going to find one in the option. So here in the picture you can very